Hey my friends, Elaine here in the kitchen, ready for food. I want something to eat. I want it to be healthy. I don't want it to pack on the pounds. I'm looking to lose weight. This is one of our Let's Lose Weight meals. What is it? A grain bowl. Basically, to me, I like to call it a grain salad bowl because we can leave the grains out if we don't necessarily want them. But is there a grain that is perhaps a little bit healthier than some? A lot of people will say quinoa. I say millet. Do stay tuned. Take a look at the items on the menu today that you will want to have ready in your kitchen. You can also add to these items. There's just about anything that you can add to a salad, so please do keep that in mind. But as we go to get started, let's take another look at what we're going to do for our grain part of our grain salad bowl. So I've measured out 1 cup of millet, and that is here in my pot. Also, millet is a very fine grain, and it works great to kind of get it going ahead of time. You can allow it to soak in water for a period of time to kind of fatten up that grain. If you don't have that much time to allow it to soak, or it's just kind of like, hey, I'm walking in the kitchen, let me make some millet, I got it. That happens to me time and time again. I usually will wash it, which really does help. There have been times, like you may have seen on another video, where I put it through like a food saver, a marinade mold, to try to pull water through the grain after washing it. I think that worked. So definitely do try that. Or if you are pressed for time, wash it. I think it'll work well for your recipe. Or I'm doing a cup of water with my cup of millet. So once I get in my cup of water, I always like to season my millet. And one, I generally like to add color to it. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon of turmeric into it. I'm also going to add a no salt seasoning, and that is about a half a tablespoon of that, and also a half a tablespoon of dried parsley. And then I do have sitting here on the counter is a no chick bouillon, and it has been very difficult for me to utilize a bouillon. I typically will try to make my own broth to get like a bouillon flavor versus reaching for something off the shelf. I actually did find this online versus a shelf, and like in a grocery store is what I mean. And it does not contain yeast extract. So it is just your standard seasonings. If I wanted to just make myself some millet, maybe like almost like a chicken flavored rice, I would reach for this. So definitely do consider, and I hope you can see that. I will place comments below as to what this is. But this is typically what I might put in here. Or like today would be a great day for what I'm making to put lemon pepper seasoning into it. That works really nicely as well. But right now I'm just doing the no salt, and turmeric and parsley. And we're basically going to get this onto the oven, get it covered. It should cook about 20 minutes and it should be ready. While we're waiting for it, I'll walk you through some of the other items for our menu today, and we'll go from there. While the millet is on the stovetop, let's move ahead with making our citrus dressing that we will use to top our grain salad type bowls. Because I'm trying to keep the carb count and the fat a little bit lower, although olive oil is a good fat, honestly, taking a lemon, slicing it in half, and just squeezing it over your grain bowl is perfect. But if you feel like you need just a little bit more flavor or something that kind of ties it in, this may be a great option for you. And it can be prepared a couple different ways. So I do have the ingredients on the countertop. Take a look at them here. We'll go ahead and get started. So I do have a 1/4 cup of freshly squeezed orange juice there. I also have 3/4 of a tablespoon of orange zest, and that's fresh zest. I also have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and then I also have the zest from 1 lemon. And if you wanted this to be more of, instead of like I'm adding in the orange, you could definitely just keep it a lemon flavor, especially for the type of grain bowl that we're doing today. I'm also going to add in some seasonings, and I do have a 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. I have 1.5 teaspoons of Dijon mustard. And then I have 1/2 of a shallot, and I'm just basically going to just cut it in smaller pieces. And we're going to get this in there. Now, for me, a lot of times this is perfect just the way it is. As I start to blend this, if you want to use oil, I suggest just slowly pouring in olive oil, about 1/2 of a cup. You can also add just a little bit of water to help thin it out. And also definitely do take time to just give it a little taste. See if something is a little bit too strong, and maybe you might need a tablespoon or more of water. But again, it's your meal. You want to like it. So decide what works best for you. So I'll go ahead and select my dressings mode for this. Once that's complete, give it a little bit of a taste. If it's not thick enough for you or doesn't have a certain flavor that you're looking for, definitely do grab the olive oil, add that into it, add a little bit of water, maybe to take away the tang of like the lemon zest or the zest that's in it. For me, when I'm eating something like the salad that we're preparing today, it's just kind of nice to have a little something refreshing across everything. And then there are days where, because I'm using hummus on the salad, I just let the hummus kind of be my dressing for that salad. But for me, I'm going to stop here. Again, if you want to add like a little bit of water just to thin it out a little more or take away a little bit of the tartness, do. If you want to make it a full-fledged dressing, go ahead and add in the 1/2 cup of olive oil, just slowly as you're blending it together, and you'll have a great citrusy type dressing to use for your salad. I'm going to store my dressing in this little carafe that I got from Pampered Chef this year, and I do like that on it there, and I haven't tried any of these, but there are little simple vinaigrettes that you can try with your salad dressing. So that's really nice. So if you'd like to see or know what the dressing is that they have, there are 2 different ones on the carafe. Just send me a comment, let me know, and I will type it out for you. So once we have our mixture in the carafe, we're going to add up to like a tablespoon of white balsamic vinegar to our carafe. Just give it a little shake. And if you want to give it a little bit more of a salty flavor, add maybe a little bit of grated vegan Parmesan into it. You can also add some nutritional yeast to it if you'd like. You could add a little bit more salt if you wanted to do that. I like it the way it is. So that is our mixture. It looks like our millet is ready. So we'll go ahead and let's prepare our green bowl. I do have a 1/4 cup of pistachios. Now, if your family does not like pistachios or nuts, or you're allergic or something like that, you can omit this step. Usually if I'm kind of looking to get my protein up, I will add nuts to a dish to make sure that I'm getting that count with my meal, as I'm vegan and I do not consume meat. But again, if it's like something that you don't like, or you want to maybe just chop up a little bit and put it on the side and add it to your dish and see if maybe it's something that you can tolerate, then definitely I do say do that. Sometimes when I'm making a dish like this, I may add in a dried fruit of some sort, like raisins or currants or something like that. So definitely you can do that. With the sugar that most dried fruits kind of have in them, you might not want to add it right now, especially if you are thinking about, you know, either watching what you eat or trying to lose weight. Now, if you decide to dry your own fruit, you know, and limit the sugar that's in the oil, you know, don't use oil on it. You know, a lot of times when we go to the restaurants that will do the different various bowls that you can create your own meal, you will find like lots of different dried type ingredients maybe when it comes to fruit, because just like I have fruit on mine, an apple that is fresh, and I just cut it right before this because, you know, sitting out all day, it will turn. So you can add a little bit of lemon, you know, for your family. So if you have a young child and they see pectin in it is starting to show, then add a little bit of a splash of lemon juice on it, and that'll keep it for your dinner. Okay, so we are going to add pistachios to this. And if you wanted to add dried fruit, or you do dry your own fruit, definitely go ahead and add a 1/4 cup of whatever that dried fruit might be that you think kind of goes along with this style that I'm doing. So I would say raisins, currants, even maybe figs. If you want a little bit more of sweetness, maybe even something like dates. But again, the carb count is just so high for it. Then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of lemon. And then I'm also going to add the zest of 1 lemon. Once you give that a good stir, I do recommend having a little bit of a taste of it to see what you think. The lemon really does awaken the flavor, so it's just great. But we did use a no salt seasoning, and if that's the route you want to stick to, definitely grab some more of that no salt and kind of sprinkle it there. But I do recommend just taking a little bit of salt, maybe a sprinkle of pepper, and definitely to your taste, to what you like, and just giving that a little bit more of a stir. Just like this, dinner is served. Spread everything out. It's nice to have it in little compartments. It makes, if you have kiddos, it makes them feel special. It's fun to see the different colors and to decide what you want on your salad. And as mom or parent, you can definitely say, hey, no, just try that. Just put a little piece of that on your plate and just try it. And you'll find that they may be surprised that they like something that they would ordinarily turn up their noses at. So it's fun as well as being healthy. There are so many more ingredients that I could add to this countertop, but as you can see, I just cannot fit much else. If you wanted to add celery, do. If you wanted to add a different type of cheese or just different types of veggies, maybe some fresh basil or something that they could use that could take the dish into a different direction. This is more of a Mediterranean type theme. If you want to add some vegan pepperoni slices to the tray, or vegan chicken, maybe that you prepared with the same no salt seasoning or different types of seasoning, maybe squeeze some lemon juice or sprinkle lemon pepper on it or something like that to give it sort of that lemony vibe, you definitely can do that. So instead of preparing a plate in front of you, and I may do that towards the very end to do my taste test, I have to do that, right? But let's look at preparing little boxes for yourself that when you do something like this and everything's out, instead of taking all of these compartmentalized foods and placing them in the refrigerator, and it takes up so much room, make yourself your lunch for tomorrow. Make yourself dinner for tomorrow and put it into an airtight type container. And you just have taken time off of your plate for tomorrow and perhaps the next day. So come on in, join the festivities and the food. So usually with my bowls, I kind of start with my salad, greens, and this particular blend that I'm using is like a superfood blend, and you can pack as much of that as you want. You know, you can also maybe include some arugula that you chop up on top. For the kiddos, sometimes seeing dark green vegetables kind of make them want to run and scream. So maybe if they are picking other things off of the counter that they will eat and it's very healthy, maybe we could add romaine lettuce to this, or just allow them to eat like a romaine. But we'll go ahead and get some of that grain right into our bowl. And then from there, what would you like on your bowl? Are we going for the cucumber? Different types of olives. You have to have olives for a Mediterranean style bowl. Maybe add not only a little bit of color, but some gut happy health with some pickled cabbage, or even fresh red cabbage is great. Definitely add some sort of shredded carrots, tomatoes, and do you see all of the beautiful colors that we have here? We're just going straight down the line and adding this beautiful color. Chickpeas. You know, if you want to give chickpeas a little bit of a spice, you know, definitely toss them in some pepper or a little bit of oil just to give it a little bit of a spice to it. Oh, the red onions. We want to get those in our bowl as well. We'll add some fresh apple. Now, if this is a bowl that you will be taking to work or something like that, definitely toss the apples in lemon juice, or don't put the apples on your bowl if you're making your bowl for tomorrow. If you have leftover apples, definitely with the lemon juice, or just take an apple with you to work that day, or cut it in half and place it in like an airtight bag for yourself. Pine nuts, great to sprinkle that on your salad. And then definitely hummus. And I am a hummus person, so we will place that right in the center so that it has access to all of the food in our bowl. We forgot our feta cheese, and this is a vegan feta. And we'll just kind of sprinkle that right on top there. For the dressing, you can put it on there, and with that citrus, it's basically citrus. So if you did put your apples on your salad, this could help preserve your apples overnight. But again, I always like my apples to be as fresh as possible, so I leave that up to you. You can always add your dressing when you eat your salad on the morrow, but definitely a airtight lid. You could make several of these, and now you have lunch for tomorrow and maybe dinner for the next day, or a second day of lunch. And that is a bowl that, depending on how you create it, can look different each and every time you make it. A bowl is very filling, but I know my guys sometimes grab a plate and he loads it up. That's okay. However you enjoy this, it is very, very healthy. And again, if you want to add some of those dried fruits, or you want to add some other ingredient, do. Or you want to pull some out, do. It's your bowl. If there's something in here that you think, oh, I could never eat chickpeas on, or whatever it might be in my bowl, try it. Just try it. You never know. You might find a healthy vegetable or something that you like. Again, top it with some other ingredient. My bowl is pretty full, so I'm going to stop here and I will take a bite. It is so flavorful. And that's the thing I love about the bowls like this versus just like a salad, where sometimes we get in the mindset we have to have dressing. If you could see my bowl, not much dressing was placed onto it. So I just took my carafe, shook it up, and just did like a little drizzle of not much. You can see just like little footprints of it across my salad. And with the hummus, again, that can also act as a dressing for you. This is just yummy. I hope that you enjoy this recipe. Please do make it the way you prefer in your homes. As always, it is my hope that you enjoy the video, that you find it not only interesting, but packed full of helpful tips and insights. Eating fresh fruits and vegetables is excellent for your body. It does help your body to feel full, and it does trigger in the brain that we're full, versus eating processed foods, which are designed to trigger I'm still hungry, and you don't have the nutrients in that food. So you eat more, we gain weight. Let's stick to our resolution this year and trying to lose those pounds, and also maybe a healthier lifestyle, or just new recipes to kind of supplement what you already do. I hope you do enjoy the bowl. I hope you create it and make it the way you prefer, with oils or not. Typically with the grain, you can also add oil to that mixture to make it a little bit oilier, for lack of a better word. But as you see, I omitted any oils in it because I'm trying to keep that carb and fat count down a little bit. Please do enjoy. I know I'm going to. I hope to see you again. Please do join me, subscribe, share, and have fun in your kitchen.